All right, hello everyone, and welcome to iGlobal University. My name is Mark Robinson. I'm the director for the School of Business at iGlobal, and today I have the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing to you a friend and a colleague, Paul Bailo, who has recently assumed the position of president at an e-commerce company called orangeshine.com. Paul, welcome to our Executive Insights podcast. Great to have you on the inaugural edition of this.
It's great to be here, Mark. Yeah, good to see you, and it's always happy.
Good. Well, I appreciate that. And in preparation for this, I was looking over your LinkedIn profile, and as I was reading it, I thought, wow, this is like a who's who of American corporations, right?
Yeah, I sort of a portfolio of blue chip companies, entrepreneurial companies, and mid-sized companies.
Okay. And we don't want to name drop too many names, but you've worked at Infosys, GE Money, Amex, MasterCard, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, Citigroup. So you've definitely got the experience, corporate America.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, it's a various background, so I love, love the big companies, right? The blue chip branding, the educational experience that I got there from an executive leadership perspective, and then also the small mid-sized companies and then my own companies too. So I love that mix of organizations.
Yeah, I think it really speaks volumes about, your capabilities and the whole realm of digital transformation, right, that's going on today. So in terms of, your position at Orange Shine, what are some of the, current trends that we'll probably see in e-commerce over the next year or two?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say specifically this company, but overall in e-commerce, right? Everyone does search, but search is pretty antiquated. So in e-commerce, it's really find. It's really, I don't want to go look at a bunch of stuff. I want you to find me what I'm really looking for, right? It's like Google. You could Google something, get a million different websites, but who cares, right? Find me the one that I'm looking for. Right. The other thing that's really coming around is really looking at this concept of knowing me better than I know myself. So that when I do come to a site in e-commerce, that it's almost exactly what I'm looking for. Don't show me 1,000 items. Just show me the items that I would actually want to buy. It's almost like having a personal shopper in the e-com world. The other thing is speed. Speed has to be much quicker, both on the web and on mobile and a tablet. Things are just way too slow. And you really have to look at organizations like a company like Lemonade. Lemonade works in the highly regulated insurance business, but it's 3 steps and you're in and you get what you want. So we have to start looking at the processes to truncate the steps. Each of these steps are hiccups in the digital transformation world. You want to try to get to as little process, those little steps of things that add limited value overall. I also think in e-com, this idea of security has to be accelerated. We started off with IDs and passwords. Now we have biometrics. Then we have sort of this dual source. I think that whole thing has to be blown up and started over, right? I mean, I have patents about security and stuff, but security has to be much tighter, but the customer experience is absolutely terrible in the journey of going into a security system. Yeah. And then I really think, even in the fashion e-com business, most of the organizations are redundant and they're a commodity. And the only differentiating factor that most organizations really have is the customer experience. Right. It's like going to Disney World. You could go every week and get a different experience. So what organizations, specifically in e-com, they need to realize what is that customer experience. And you have to really whittle down all those touch points and understand the customer and what the customer is going through. There's a field called design thinking. It comes out of Stanford University, and at Infosys we've trained 40,000 people on this, right? But it's really understanding everything you do in the organization is it customer centric? Is it
Right.
is it what the customer wants, or are we doing this just for ourselves, or are we wasting people's time?
Right.
So one of the big things is really end-to-end customer experience, customer centric modeling, the idea of going from search to seek. The whole concept of security has to be transformed. And overall, give me what I want when I want it, or knowing me better than I know myself and offering it up before I have to ask for it.
Right. And so that sort of brings it to, it's sort of an era of personalization.
Personalization, customization, and really getting ahead of the curve, building the predictive analytic models for your customers to offer them what they need before they need it. Like, the plumber should come to my house before the pipe leaks. The mechanic should come to the house and fix the car before I have a flat tire.
Right.
And just talking about the underlying idea of data driving all this analysis. So the idea of getting a flat tire should be a non-event. The idea that the refrigerator breaks down should be a non-event. So all these things in our lives that add no value should really be eliminated.